Hey everyone, welcome to another Spotted Dog Battle Report. This one between the Saurian Ancients, myself, and the Emperor Sonnstahl. So, playing against my first opponent from Leeds, Stephen. We realised we live quite close to each other, so we arranged a little midweek game. We both thought we'd change it up, having played 3 games with our other armies. We thought we'd use different ones. So we went Empire, I've gone Saurian. So let's have a look at the list. Okay, so we start with Stephen's list. He's got a Prelate, General, Star Mace, Blessed Armour of Frederick the Great, Duskstone. Basically, I think that's a 1-up or 2-up rerollable maybe. And Star Mace, I think that is it forgoes all of his attacks for 1 at strength 10, doing multiple wounds ordnance. So we played this a little bit wrong during the game, but we'll come to that later. Level 4 Wizard, interesting build, Fencer's Swords, Winter Cloak. With the Path of Alchemy, I think that's weapon skill 10 and then -1 to hit, I think, with the Winter Cloak. Interesting build for a wizard. Yep, no scroll, so there you go. BSB on a Pegasus with 1-up, 4-up. Preacher, heavy armor, shield, he's going in the Imperial Guard. Inquisitor, plate armor, shield, he's actually on a horse as well. He's going in one of the units of 5 Reiters. He's got 49, big block of halberdiers, full command, light armor, 6 electoral cav, a little scoring unit, plate armor and shield, 19 crossbows to fill out his core, arcane engine, that's the heavens one, 5 knights of the sun griffin, no champion there, just musician standard bearer, 5 Reiters, 10 imperial rangers, they're the skirmishing guys with bows, multi-shot 2, and then 29 imperial guard, full command, great weapon, plate armor. That's the Empire. Let's have a look at the Saurians. Okay, so my list, Saurian Warlord on Alpha Carnosaur with a Blade of Strife, so he's rocking 8 attacks at strength 5, and the Carnosaur's doing 5 attacks at strength 7, D3 wounds. They've got the Skink Captain BSB on Ancient Taurosaur, Godly Engine, Sharp Horn, Spear of the Stampede, so he's pretty good on the charge. Spear of the Stampede allows you to roll an extra D6 for your impact hits, and the Sharp Horns allow you to re-roll the dice for impact hits, so good combo there. Level 1 Skink Priest on foot with a Dispel Scroll, Heavens. He just takes Ice Shard Blizzard actually. Block of 30 Saurus, Jaguar Warriors, that's extra movement, so that's their movement 5. And then a 1-use only standard, Icon of Relentless Company allows you to triple your move for 1 turn. So they can potentially march up to 15 inches once. And then you got 2 Skirmishing Skink Braves in core, no poison, no, they don't come with poison anymore. 11 Skink Braves in a little cohort with Musician and Standard Bearer, that's going to be where the level 1 goes. 12 Raptor Riders, full command Banner of Mixotal, which is Hatred. 2 units of 10 Chameleons, 6 Skink Hunters with Vanguard, they've got Poison Javelins, they're Ballistic Skill 4 though, they're still okay. Thyroscutus, Altar of the Snake God, that's the poison attacks within 6 inches of it, and it also comes with a bounce spell from the Path of Disease, is it Putrefying Touch, I think, poison attacks again. And a 60-point Weapon Beast to Spearback, which is pretty good chaff actually. Okay, so on to deployment. We alternated for a little bit, and then I chucked everything down to get +3 to try and roll for the first turn. We played Battle Line because that's what we rolled, and we also played the Banners one where you pick 3 of the enemy's standards, and if you destroy them, basically it helps you win the game. I think the person with the most chosen standards left at the end of the game wins. I've maybe said that wrong, but basically the standards that I chose of his were the knights in the centre there, the crossbowmen, and the halberdiers who had just left the screen. I only had 2 units with standards. It was the Raptor Riders and my... No, did I have 3? Yeah, I had 3. I had my skinks. So I had the Raptors, the skinks, and the Saurus. And obviously he chose all 3 because they're the only 3 I had. So anyway, deployment. He's got his Reiters on his left flank. They've actually got the Inquisitor in there. 6 knights with full command, I think. Is it 20 crossbows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 20 crossbows, full command. Then in the middle, he's got his big block of halberdiers with his general and his wizard in there. Then he's got his engine thing, his Hurricanum, whatever it's called now. His big block of Imperial Guard, his BSB on Pegasus behind, Hunters, Huntsmen up front, Rangers, whatever they're called, some more Reiters, and then his Knights of the Sun Griffin thing on the right hand side. Okay, so my left flank, we've got the Blockosaurus supported by the poison guy, Thyrus Scutus. Then we've got the 6 skink hunters who can vanguard. Then we've got 10 core skirmishing skinks. At the back there, we've got my bunker for the wizard with standard and musician. Out front, we've got 10 scouted chameleons, 10 more scouted chameleons in the wood. Then we've got our raptors behind, and we've got the spearback. Behind the spearback, we've got my general on Alpha Carnosaur, 10 more core skinks, and then over to the right, we've got my BSB on Stegodon. Then scouts, yeah, okay, so that just gives you an overview of the scouts. He's placed his hunters in the woods there, and I've put my 2 chameleons over on my right. Vanguard, yeah, I vanguard my 6 skink hunters up there, straight down the middle. He vanguards his Reiters behind the hill. So I get first turn. These guys move up a little bit over here. Don't want to get too close to those Knights of the Griffin thing. I don't even know what they're called. Demigriffs. The old Demigriff guys. These skinks move into a bit of cover. I think they're just in range of the Reiters for some javelins. Everybody else on this side just moves up a little bit. The chameleons move straight up towards his crossbows, and the other chameleons move up to have a little shot at the knights. Just a bit better picture of the right flank there. So in the magic phase, I get poisoned attacks on the Saurus warriors. So that basically increases their poison attacks. I already said now poisoning on 5+, because they get 6 up from its bubble ability anyway, and then the spell increased it to 5+. So that was just a bit of a deterrent really, but he let it go. He had no intention of charging me. So we go to my shooting phase. So I pop off 1 Reiter with the javelins there. These chameleons kill 3 crossbows. Yep, and that's it. So Empire of Sonnstahl turn 1. He charges the Reiters straight into the skinks. I stand and shoot, but don't kill any. He puts his knights into the flank of the chameleons. I was okay with that. Better view there. He moves his Imperial Guard, wheels them and moves them forward into the woods a little bit. His halberdiers come up and wheel, as does the Hurricanum thing. His hunters swing round to have a shot at the skinks as well. Okay, so in his magic phase, he basically tries to put some wounds on my Carno Lord. Lightning Bolt, which I let through. He rolls a bumper phase. He rolls a double 6, so he's on 12. I let Lightning Bolt go through because, well, I have to let something go through. He rolls a 1 for the amount of hits and then doesn't wound, so got away with that one nicely. He then goes for molten metal. Yeah, molten metal on my Carnosaur Lord again. But yeah, get away with it again. No wounds. But then he does get Quicksilver off on these boys. I think that's hard target distracting. And he gets enchanted blades on his pistols. Shooting phase, his hunters target my skink braves and kill 6 of them. But they don't panic and they stick around. So these boys on the charge, yep, wipe them out. 6 dead skinks. He then overruns. These boys, yep, kill 6 chameleons, who then run away and pop all the way over here. There's some dangerous terrain, and the end result is I lose 6 of them basically. They sort of sit there between the halberds and the Hurricanum. And then he gets to reform with his knights. Okay, so we go to my turn 2. So looks like a bit of an empty screen here, but what happened was my raptors declared a charge on his knights. He fled, got somewhere on top of that hill. My chameleons then charged them as well and pushed them off the board. So you'll see in the next slide. Yeah, that's what happens. So raptors charge them, they flee, chameleons push them off, and they disappear off the board. Then the rest of the boys just sort of come round a little bit really. Stegadon doesn't want to get too close to those Reiters because they'll do quite a bit of damage on the charge if they get in. So the Stegadon just moves up cautiously. This boy here tries to charge the halberds. He needed 8 on the dice with Swift Stride, and he fails. What a chump. So he just sort of hangs around there. The Saurus and the Thyroscutus just hang around. They don't want to get too involved. And the skinks in the centre there, they move to get some cover in the water feature, and they're going to look to shoot those Reiters in the shooting phase. These boys move for a bit of cover behind the ruins. Okay, so my magic phase, I try and do the poison attack spell again on the Saurus warriors, but yeah, I miscast and lose the spell, so no more poison attack spell. Shooting phase, this guy's the only one that can shoot on his flank because the chameleons had pushed the knights off, so he targets the crossbowman and kills 2. I think this is just like an overshot of this left flank over here. And a little bit more. Yeah, it looks like the skinks haven't done anything to the Reiters there with the shooting. A bit more right flank. Okay, so we go to Empire Sonnstahl turn 2. His pistols, his Reiters try and charge my chameleons who stand and shoot. Don't do anything because he's got cover from behind the hill. But he actually fails his charge anyway, so that's a bit of a bonus. These Reiters in the centre move around to shoot at my priest's unit there. Great swords move up a little bit into the woods to try and tempt me into a charge next turn. Overshot of the centre. My chameleons look like they've rallied actually. Maybe. Yeah, looks like the chameleons have rallied there near the great swords last turn. And just the right flank there. These crossbows have just stayed where they are. They're gonna get a shot on the spear back in his shooting phase. Middle view there. Sonnstahl magic, so he goes basically again he's targeting my Saurian warlord. So first spell is the lightning bolt. I let it go again, get lucky, not quite as lucky as last time, but he does manage to squeeze a wound on this time. He then gets the Quicksilver hard target distracting on his great swords in the woods. The shooting phase, he has a go at the skinks, but because I'm skirmishing and aquatic in the water, it's -2, doesn't do anything. But his crossbows do put 2 wounds on my spearback, dropping it to 1. And his pistols, through cover, managed to kill 2 skinks. So Saurian Ancients turn 3. So the Saurus Cav, the Saurus Knights charge his crossbowmen who elect to flee, quite rightly, because if I'd have got there and then reformed, I'd have been right in his deployment zone, which is not a good place to be. So he elected to flee. I stumble forward, I think 6 inches or something. This guy goes for a charge in the halberds and makes it in, as you can see. The Stegodon charges the pistols. Now I can't remember if they flee from terror or whether he elects to flee, but whatever happens, they end up running off the board. So the Stegodon just stumbles forward, just like that. The chameleons and the skink braves just go around the back way. Movement phase, these skinks move up to try and help their buddies out. The skink priest and his men just to try and pop off some pistols and maybe make them flee. We'll see how that one goes in the shooting. Just a picture of the left. These boys haven't moved at all. There's a bit of a standoff going on over here. Saurian Ancient magic, yeah. So I try and cast Blizzard from Heavens from the skink priest on this unit just to try and to put it on the pistols just to try and give them a bit of protection, but I miscast, killing 3 skinks and putting a wound on the priest himself, losing the rest of my dice. So that's the end of the phase, but the spell did go off. So we go to the combat phase. Now this is where we got it wrong. So there's a challenge between his general and my general. He issues it. I don't issue a challenge. And we thought that the strength 10 attack with ordnance went in initiative, i.e. his prelate goes first, but that's not the case. It actually should go initiative 0. But what happened was he went first, put 3 wounds on my Carnosaur, dropping it to 2. My Carnosaur then, with attacks, thunderstomps, and everything else, actually kills his general. But yeah, the Carnosaur holds. In fact, he wins. But they're steadfast. But yeah, that's the Carnosaur down to 2 wounds now. And that's just a picture of the battlefield as it is. It looks like in the shooting phase, I didn't kill a single Reiter down at the bottom, which is pretty disappointing. Yep. So Empire Sonnstahl turn 3. He puts his Reiters into my little skink block. That's not looking good for those boys. And he just moves up a little bit again, just trying to tempt me into a charge. His BSB jumps over the engine and looks for a flank on the Saurian Warlord in his next turn. His hunters move up to try and shoot those 4 skinks off. Just a picture of my right flank there. So he goes to magic and he goes for a lightning bolt on my Thyroscutus, doing 3 wounds, dropping it to 1. So that's pretty useless now, that thing. Yeah, that's just a picture of where the zap came from. These boys managed to finish off the 4 skinks in his shooting phase. And in the combat phase, he kills a whole lot of skinks, but I do manage to kill 1 Reiter. Over here, yeah, I kill a load of halberdiers with mixture of thunderstorms and attacks and everything else, but he does manage to put 1 wound on, just from halberdier attacks really. And yeah, just a picture of over here. Okay, so we go to my turn 4, and these boys try a charge on the Imperial Greatswords, and they fail, so they just stumble around a little bit. These boys are trying their best. Oh, you see the spearback's going into the flank of the halberds as well, just trying to add to the combat rest, see if we can break these buggers. The other guys, the chameleons, come around the back. The cav go as quick as they can round the back there. The Braves come round, and the Stegodon decides actually he's wasting his time over there, so he tries to cut across country and get into the action in the centre. The Thyro Scooters is forced to move up and chaff the Knights of the Griffin thing, because the Saurus has failed on the Greatsword, so that would have actually been a flank from the Knights had the Thyro not done that. It's just a picture of these boys at the bottom there. So yeah, so we go to the combat phase. I kill a load of halberdiers, but he manages to plink that last wound off on my Saurian Warlord, which is a shame. He also kills the spearback, puts the 1 remaining wound on him. So that's the general gone. And these guys reform to look like that. Yeah, there you go. So Empire Sonnstahl turn 4. He puts the Knights into the Thyro, but doesn't put the Imperial Greatswords into the front of the Saurus. He said his reasoning behind that was he wanted to combo charge them. So yeah, that's what happened there. The Pistoliers move around to harass the Stegodon. So we go to magic phase. He tries to cast the bolt thrower one out of metal. Is it Silver Spike? Onto the Stegodon. I let it go through because he miscasts. And as you can see, how many guys he killed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He kills 10 halberdiers in the process and puts a wound on the wizard himself. And the Stegodon. Oh, and he panics and flees. Yeah, even better. He panics and flees, and the Stegodon's unwounded. So that's a brilliant thing to happen. Goes to the shooting phase. The Pistoliers, the Reiters have a go at the Stegodon, but don't do anything. The hunters have a go at the Stegodon. Don't do anything. So we go to combat. Yeah, of course, he kills the Thyro and gets a bit of a reform on. Yep, there's his reform. And then we go to my turn 5. So the Saurus warriors charge the front of the Imperial Guard. The 10 chameleons, the 4 chameleons, and the 10 skink braves move up to try and just finish that unit of halberdiers off. The Saurus cav kind of come round their full movement just to try and get in the game, really. Stegodon moves up, he's full 12, but he remained within 9 inches of the Reiters there, so he can do his metal shifting attack in the magic phase from his godly engine. And yep, in the shooting phase with the godly engine, I think it's the shooting phase he does it, he actually manages to kill 2 of them, panic them, and make them run away. In the shooting phase here, we managed to kill 4 halberdiers, which just leaves the champion standard and musician. So the combat, yeah, he kills 4, 8, 10. Yeah, he kills 10 Saurus, and I kill a handful of Imperial Guard, but I think I lose. Actually, do you know what? I think he loses, actually. I think he lost, but he stuck around because he's stubborn. Yeah, just a picture of the centre here. That BSB is looking for a flank charge in his turn next. Picture of those guys still running. So we go to Empire Sonnstahl turn 5. He puts his knights in the flank of the Saurus and his BSB as well. These guys keep running, actually, panicking the hunters. So that's kind of how we look. The hunters run and the halberdiers keep running. So with a lack of a shooting phase and a magic phase, we go straight to combat. It's a bloodbath. He kills 5, 11, 13 Saurus warriors, and I return and kill 3 great swords. But yeah, he pursues with the griffins and the Imperial Guard, reforms with the BSB, and it looks like that. So we got to my final turn. So here really, the only thing I can really do is finish off his halberdiers, or hope to. Well, as you can see, I do. With the combined shooting, I finish off the halberdiers, just leaving the general on his own. The Saurus Cav stay where they are because they're not in range to charge anything, and really they're just there to preserve the banner. Because at the minute I've got all 3 of his banners that I chose. And I just need to protect my banner so that I win the objectives, and hope that the hunters run away and the Reiters run away, and maybe it'll be close. So yeah, that's just the end of my turn there. We got Empire Sonnstahl turn 6. I shouldn't have had those 4 chameleons there. That was a mistake on my part. But anyway, he puts the battle wagon thing, Hurricanum, into the side of the chameleons. He puts his BSB into the front of my other chameleons. I stand and shoot, but don't do anything. These guys rally. Just picture here. These guys rally as well, which is really annoying. So we go to the magic phase, and it's a monster magic phase. I think it's a 10. So really what he's going to try and do here is basically he's got to try and wipe out my cav unit to get rid of that banner. So first off he goes for, you know what, it could be lightning bolt from the Hurricanum, I think. Kills 2. I let that one go in the hope that I can dispel molten metal, which he goes for next. But yeah, I can't dispel it. He goes for the big one, and basically the command group's left. Thankfully I'm immune to psych, so I stick. Yeah, there's that pesky wizard. And then combat phase, yep, he kills off the chameleons, and his BSB finishes, well, he kills 5 chameleons and I flee, but he doesn't catch me, so he doesn't get the points for those at the end of the game. So that's an end of game shot. You can see his hunters rallied behind my bottle of hobgoblin. There's the 2 Reiters. My Saurus Cav just about hanging on to the banner. And that's about it really. Yeah, it was a really good game. The first game I've played in ninth with the first real game I played in ninth with the Saurian Ancients, and I was quite pleased. So let's go to the result. Okay, so even though I had the objective, he got enough points by basically reducing the Saurian cav to 25%. He got 50% of their points, which swung it. It would have been 10-all, but it was 11-9 to the Empire Sonnstahl. So yeah, I continue on my winless streak. But now, if we'd have done his general's attack properly, I think it would have been a comfortable victory for the Saurian Ancients in the end. But you know, you live and learn. And Stephen was good enough to send me an email the following day and just say, you know, I did it wrong, and you know, my general should have died, and your guy should have been still on 5 wounds. But whatever, you learn. It didn't take away from the game. It was still fun, and I do plan on using these Saurian Ancients again. In fact, there's another game which you'll see after this one, I think, where I play the Vermin Swarm. So you'll have to see how I go. I'll slightly switch up the list, take out the Carnosaur guy in favour of a couple of Old Bloods on Raptors in like a cav bus. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll catch you again soon. Cheers, guys. Bye.